at first. Sure, the guy gets to third, but you're on third, and you're still up by 2. This is the same stuff all season long for the Red Sox.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track. Looking out. It is.
But it's called off. Cut off by Clement. Baseball hits the runner.
Wow, off the head.
The ball hits over the helmet. Sosa to his left. Nice play. Spinner wobble, but he throws it away. Hits the
Good morning, good evening, good night, whenever you are watching this. Welcome to the Off the Dome podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Kobe Van Nort, joined today by Zev Black, Aaron Nemiroff. Guys, how is it going?
It's going well. Having a good day. Feel energized, fresh, ready to go, ready to talk some baseball, and just want to have some fun today.
Man, that's rare for you. Happy we're getting this side of them.
Getting out of my comfort zone.
I'm feeling great. Yeah, seriously. It's good that it's only taken, 12 episodes for you to get here?
Yeah.
We'll take
Sam kind of just brought that energy over to me.
Fair enough. I mean, that's what he does. That's what SDZ does. I'm feeling great. Sox going for the 4-game sweep of the rival Yankees right now, up 2-0, middle 5. Actually, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything else about it. Maybe I'll mention it later if it becomes relevant.
Where would that put them in the standings?
Going for the 4-game sweep.
Yeah.
I would put them in 4th place.
Okay.
But, anything can happen this season. A 500 team might make the playoffs. A sub-500 team might make the playoffs. Yeah, it probably will, honestly. Yeah. So, I'm just, any time you beat the Yankees, I said this to my dad the other day, I don't care how bad the Red Sox are, I take great pleasure in beating the Yanks. So, I'm happy right now.
Understandable. Yeah. I'm sure that's how Giants fans feel right now anytime they can take a series from the Dodgers as well. So, same concept.
Oh, certainly. Mm-hmm. It's a rivalry for a reason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that
100%.
Padre fans were just so lit on Twitter on Friday when they beat the Dodgers. And it's on the Dodgers side of Twitter, it's it's Friday. There's 2 more games to go, and Dodgers just whooped them the next 2 days. Good stuff.
That's what's
in. The game yesterday was brutal. It's funny you say that, though, because with the Yankees Twitter blows up when they lose to the Red Sox. I mean, Mason's been texting me this is childish. They're playing like a high school team. I'm going to crash out if the Red Sox win today. It's bro, you're atop of the division. Actually, they're not atop the division. The Rays are. And the Rays are going to gain another game here if the Sox can pull this one off. So one
thing I've noticed about Yankees fans that, I have another buddy who's a Yankees fan as well, and they are so in the moment compared to any other, team fan base that I've seen, where it's if they're playing well, they are riding high. They are letting everyone know the Yankees are going to win the World Series. And vice versa, the second that they start to struggle, it is a crash of landing. Everything is tumbling. Everything is falling over. There is no middle ground for them. They are the polar opposite of either side. And it goes for a lot of Yankees fans. It's funny. And they're okay with that.
They can lose 2 games in a row and they think they're going to miss the playoffs. It's over for them.
They lose a few games and they think Aaron Boone needs to get cut. Speaking, though, of getting fired, the Mets decided to fire Carlos Mendoza. The Mets have been a disaster this season. That's just... It's right there. We know that they have been terrible. Had a terrible series against the Cubs, or the Cubs just had a good series. Dansby Swanson had quite the series. He had 15 RBIs in 3 games. You don't see that often. And they made 6 infield errors, the Mets did. They just... I don't know. This series was the final straw for them. They were running low, and Carlos Mendoza was the answer. We know the Phillies did something like this way earlier in the season, and for them, it has kind of turned out well. They have been able to kind of bounce back and really look like the team that they were supposed to be. I think personally for the Mets, they just tried too much to mesh what they thought worked. I know that kind of doesn't make much sense, but I think that, I mentioned this earlier in the podcast, that not getting Kyle Tucker really put them into hyperdrive. We need to make moves now. And so I think that they just compiled a group of guys that don't mesh well. And they've had to, it's forced their hand in a way that also I think has just jacked up their franchise altogether. I mean, they've had to call up multiple young rookies who I think they're now sabotaging their potential future because of that, to try to put together something last minute. But all in all, yeah, this team has just been a burning fire, continuing to burn. They finally let go Mendoza. What do you guys think about this?
I want to touch
Yeah, I mean-
on.
Go ahead.
I want to touch on just the thoughts of like these guys just don't mesh too well together.
Yeah.
In one of those last games before Mendoza got fired, Citi Field started a Pete Alonso chant. The whole crowd is going Pete Alonso, and it just kind of tells the whole story right there. The fans wanted Pete back. He was a Mets legend, and they kind of just waved him goodbye, went for Tucker, didn't work out. You end up with Bichette, and maybe the answer all along was just running it back with Pete, having another year, Lindor, Pete, Soto. Now there's rumors that Soto and Lindor don't even really like each other or get along, and that's been a little bit of a weird thing. I don't think Lindor and Pete necessarily got along too well either. There's a lot of rumors with Lindor and his chemistry with some of these other star players. It might just all be rumors and stuff, but I think chemistry is very important. It was actually my most important thing in winning a World Series that we talked about a week or two ago. Chemistry is important, and the Mets just do
100%.
not have it.
Yeah.
Chemistry is important, but players on the field is also crucial. I feel like Mendoza was just a scapegoat for how terribly of a job David Stearns did in this offseason. I mean, like you already said it, he replaced Pete Alonso, who has the most homers in Mets history, with Bo Bichette, who has a negative WAR on the season. He replaces Brandon Nimmo, who's the longest tenured Met and has been pretty good this year, with Marcus Semien, who has a negative WAR on the season. He replaces Edwin Diaz, who I know he's hurt, but arguably the best closer in baseball, and had 48 saves over 2 seasons. Replaced him with Devin Williams, who has a negative WAR on the season. And then they trade for Freddie Peralta, who just hasn't been what they've expected. I feel like they downgraded everywhere that they let guys go. And I don't know exactly what they expected to have, would be the result with that. This is it. And I don't think Mendoza's done a horrible job. He just was dealt such a poor hand by David Stearns that it got to the point where, they had to do something, and this is what it was.
One other thing just about Kobe, you mentioned that the Phillies fired Rob Thompson earlier in the year. I think maybe there was a little bit of something to that. They've gone on such a great run since that firing and having Don Mattingly run the team. At the time, I said baseball managers don't matter, and I still partially think that way. But the records kind of speak for themselves, right? Like, the Phillies have completely turned things around since that time. And at that point in the season, the Mets and Phillies were both the 2 biggest disappointments in the league. So the Phillies made the move at the time, turned things around. The Mets decided to just ride things out, and now their season is done, and they're still making the same move. It probably should have just happened sooner, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you say it probably should have happened sooner. I don't think it would have meant anything. I think this is what the team is. They're not a very good team. The rotation is bad. The offense isn't great. Their defense is horrible. I mean, you mentioned it, Kobe. 6 errors in 1 game. I mean, it's a big reason why they lost that one, and it's unacceptable. You see the same thing, in a couple of other teams, and this is the Mets, though. Like, they're supposed to be good, and they never are. They never are good. I don't think it's Mendoza's fault. I feel like Stearns just failed this team.
Lindor's first game back, ball just comes right to him. Error. First play,
Yeah.
first inning. Just
So typical.
the epitome of the season.
Welcome back to the show,
for the
kids.
Mets. Yeah.
Welcome back to the show. Yeah, I mean, the Phillies, I think they are what we expected them to be. And you said the biggest disappointment. It was, they were 9-19 when they fired him. Like, we're not even 30 games into the season. I mean, how much of
It
a
was
disappointing,
disappointing, though.
30 games in?
It was disappointing. They were top dogs each of the last few seasons, top 5 in World Series odds. That was a bad look, but they turned it around.
And they were expected to be good, and here they are. I think that the Mets maybe had that expectation because they've had a run in the past couple of years. But this team, like I said, they replaced all these guys with B versions, C versions of the players that they had the past couple of years, and it is not working out.
I think the expectations just got high because they made a ton of moves. Like, they did a lot. But, like, we're forgetting this is a team that missed the playoffs last year. So, it's like, that wasn't a team that was just completely perfect going into it, even before they lost their stars. And I think they just made a lot of moves, which garnered a bunch of hype around them.
Yeah, I fairly much agree with that. I mean, the moves weren't that good though. Like they made a lot of moves. I mean, even if they got Tucker, it's like he's been pretty bad this year. What could that have been?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
anyways, moving on to a little CBA talk. There was a new proposal this week from the league to the Players Association. Did not go over well. There were 4 parts of it that I found pretty interesting. We're going to go kind of one by one. The first part of it is that this is the biggest free agent restriction proposal in MLB history. So there would be, in this new proposal by the league, there would be a 5-year max on contracts for players going to new teams, 6 years for players re-signing with their team, kind of like how the NBA does it. It would have killed some of the most iconic, contracts ever. Like recent history, Shohei's $10 million or 10-year, $700 million deal. Judge's 9-year, $300 million deal. Soto just signed his 15-year, $765 million deal. Consider all of those gone with this new proposal. What do you guys think about that?
I think this is just a very drastic change. You're going from 15-year contract down to, that would have been a 5-year because he's joining a new team. I just don't see a world in which that ultimately becomes the rules going into next season. It's just a huge gap. When you make changes in a league, and I'm saying this as a fantasy baseball commissioner because I think about this stuff and it's come into play year after year. We do rule changes. You gotta keep it small because for the most part, MLB's got a great thing going. We all love watching baseball. We love talking baseball. We watch it every day. You don't need to change things that much. Start small, see how that goes. It's like a test run, and then you can continue to work your way that way. But that's just a huge, drastic change that I don't see really working out. I do think it's interesting, though, that re-signing, you get the extra year on a contract. I think that really can help some of the small market teams have an advantage in retaining players. You have an extra year to offer them, and if players want those big contracts and the ceiling or the cap is that many years, you at least have a year advantage to retain a player.
Yeah, another big part of this is the salary cap, which I also think, like you just said, would help small market teams. Kobe, where do you stand on the salary cap?
I mean, when I look at the salary cap, I'm actually totally against it. I don't care for the salary cap at all. I think a salary floor is the much more necessary option. And I also think on the flip side, players aren't going to want this. I mean, they think that money's going to be moving around in a positive way where they're going to be, like, you're just affecting their contracts, the amount of money that they're going to be able to make on a year-in, year-out basis. And I just don't see how they come to an agreement. And I think the biggest issue, and I brought this up many times, is a team like the Brewers. Sure, they're succeeding right now. They're doing fantastic. But last year they dumped Freddie Peralta because they didn't want to pay him $9 million. That's an issue. That's genuinely something where these small market teams need to bust out their pockets and actually show that they're willing to invest in the team that they're putting together. People are very frustrated because teams like the Dodgers can run away with things like that. And don't get me wrong, there are advantages that they have that not many other teams do have. But I also think that there's not as much of an aggression from these other teams, almost because of that fact, that knowing well, it's Los Angeles, well, they have this. It seems that teams are afraid to even run up against them right now to try to make a more appealing offer. And I don't know. I just don't think that a cap is what solves the issue. I also had an interesting point brought up to me of just, it also is, my original point. Los Angeles is a very ideal spot. The Dodgers, yes, they would lose an advantage from a salary cap coming into play. But also, when a player's picking, if the Dodgers can offer a similar amount or even less, you're taking a pay cut, but you're also going to play for a team that has back-to-back championships, maybe even three-peated by then, whatever. But that's more of an appealing place. And since the cap's in place, there's only so much money that they can offer you. So I do think there are a lot of players who have that mindset too, of I don't need to necessarily make money. I'll make a little bit of bonus if we win a World Series, and I want to go play for a team that's going to compete. So I think there's two ways of looking at it, but the cap doesn't just necessarily fix all of the issues that have come to light.
If the salary cap gets implemented and somehow, some way, the Players Association accepts that, which I don't think they ever will. But if they do, it leads to a situation where if one player gets more, it just means that another player is getting paid less. And that is the number one thing that the Players Association is trying to avoid. They want everybody in the league to get the fairest chance to be paid as much money as they deserve. You set up a salary cap. I mean, I have no clue what the number is going to be. Let's just say $200 million. And $45 million of those dollars is going to one player on your roster. That's a ton of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nearly 25% of your entire roster going towards one player. It makes it a situation where a guy like Caleb Durbin, I don't know why he just came to my mind, but Caleb Durbin, if he ever reaches free agency, is not going to get, $15 million. He can't. It's not possible, even if he somehow deserves it.
To go back to what Kobe was kind of saying, how the big market teams like the Dodgers are still having an advantage because of their success in Los Angeles. I think that is kind of a part of the reasoning for why maybe this is needed. Those big market successful teams have an advantage enough as it is. So to also just allow them to spend, you got to take away something to kind of have a little bit more of a balance across the league.
Another part of this is the elimination of prop bets on sports books. People say, and the players are saying, that a lot of people are betting on them to get 2+ hits, and if they don't come through, they'll get hate DMs, death threats on the field, people screaming at them from the stands. First of all, that's never okay. Can't have that at all. I don't blame the league or the players, one bit for wanting to get rid of prop bets on sports books. What do you guys think about that?
I actually don't yes, I do agree. That what comes from that and what they're backing behind it makes sense. But I also feel like you're not just totally X-naying that from ever happening again by just taking out prop bets. I mean, if you're going to allow regular bets to happen, if a player sells from just their money line perspective, they're still going to get those death threats. So yes, maybe it mutes it slightly or turns it down a bit, but it's still, the issue still lays at hand. It's people that need to be fixed, not necessarily a rule. I personally think that because of Clause A and some other issues, that's more of a reasoning for why prop bets they're trying to silence those a little bit more. Because in baseball, compared to a lot of other sports, it's a lot easier to do those kind of prop bets. I mean, what was Clause A's, throwing a ball on the first pitch? Something very simple that was very hard to detect. That's very hard to detect. Baseball, especially from a pitcher's perspective, it's a very easy thing to try to, and yes, it probably is easy for other sports too, but since that's becoming more of an issue that we've been seeing in baseball, is guys betting on themselves in a negative way or positive way, I think that's more of a valid reasoning for wanting to take out prop bets.
Yeah, super true. I mean, I totally agree. These guys should not be betting on themselves. Pete Rose, kind of one of the, I don't even say one of, probably the most famous example of this, betting on his own team to win. You just can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Great points, Kobe and Zev. I agree with all that. Had to get you in there too, but
snuck me in there, yeah.
yeah, found a way. Kobe, you're absolutely right. You're not going to eliminate it entirely because you still have money lines, you still have spreads, all that, run totals. But if you can just mute it in any way, I think that's a great thing. I'm all for it. If you're sending death threats to a player over losing money that you choose to gamble, you're a loser. And when a kid is acting up and misbehaving, you got to take something away from them. So take away the prop bets. You screwed up. You lose it. Bye-bye.
Speaking of getting
I
hate,
agree.
this is a bit of a side point, but we got a little bit of hate on one of our videos, and I wanted to just address it slightly on how I think people may have misinterpreted what we were talking about. We posted a video, we talked about it last week, about Gene Segura's 200th double. We were not expecting it to gain the traction it did, and in the way it did. We had a lot of people kind of just saying, there have been 23,000 players in baseball, only 1,000 of them, you guys are totally taking away this moment. We did not mean that at all. Specifically me, because I was the one kind of headlining it. I had no intentions on dogging him for the move. I just want anyone who may have felt that way to pull up another video of someone getting on the Jumbotron, giving a curtain call, and genuinely having every single person in the stands pretty much celebrate their 200th double. I've never seen it before. Yes, it's a great accomplishment, but a lot of times you see those for something that maybe only 100 players have done, or 50. So again, no hate to Gene at all. It's a fantastic accomplishment for a player who has had a pretty good career. But again, I just thought that was funny. I wanted to address that situation before we kept moving forward.
And I actually, I gave him his props. I said, I even said there's been 23,000 players to play baseball, and he's one of, just a handful to make that accomplishment.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to hate on him. It was more meant to be like, I was surprised that the Phillies were that ready for it, and everyone was just so active in the celebration of it.
So,
hey, if you're watching this social vid, because I know it's going to be a vid, check out our podcast. We post every week on YouTube. Give us a watch. Please.
And the ultimate point is, if you are watching already on YouTube the full episode, we appreciate you for listening to the entire thing and not just making assumptions over our 45-second videos that make it onto social media. Thank you.
Seriously. All right, back to the CBA. The final thing that was really interesting with this whole discussion was that the MLBPA interim executive director, Bruce Meyer, had a very interesting quote. He said, "I have never seen this degree of unity at this point among players and agents. I think the league has done us a favor because their proposals are in fact so obviously and extremely bad for players at all levels that it's actually been a benefit for our unity." I mean, there is no way we have baseball next year, right? Like, zero chance.
We'll see. Players want to make money. Still a ways away.
Well, the players do want to make money, but if this proposal goes through, they'll be losing a lot of money.
That's true.
We'll have baseball. I'm confident.
What'd you say?
It may be delayed. We'll have baseball. It may be delayed. Don't get me wrong.
I think
we'll have baseball.
This is probably the farthest the two sides have been since 1994, which ruined baseball for the foreseeable future. Obviously the World Series was wiped out, and it took the steroid era for people to come back into it. I feel like the league is headed towards this again. I truly believe there is more than a 50% chance that we don't have baseball next year, and if we do, it's a shortened season, and that can't be good. The league is gaining so much momentum right now. We're getting past the NBA. We're reaching up on the NFL. The NFL is obviously rising, but the league is rising. The MLB is rising faster than the NFL is right now, and this is just going to halt all of that progress.
The league is in a great spot. Everything besides this whole situation with the money and stuff, all the new rules they've implemented over the last couple of years are very popular. ABS, the pitch clock, all that has really just helped the league gain traction. And like you said, we're kind of moving past the NBA. So that's kind of just why I feel like something will come together. Maybe it's just hopeful thinking. But the league is in such a great place right now. Let's not just throw it all away. And I know this is this is bigger than that, I suppose. You got a lot of money on the line. Money is at the top of people's minds.
Yeah.
So maybe this is enough to halt that. But my wishful thinking is that it's been so great these last couple of years. Let's not ruin it.
So someone's going to decide to come forward. Baseball is at its most profitable point, making a gross of $12.1 billion. Owners are going to stop making money if baseball stops happening. And they're going to eventually cave in on something to get baseball going again. So I do think that with as much as it may be delayed, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, there's going to be baseball played.
Yeah, my final point for this is you hit the nail on the head right there. The league is going to have to cave if we want baseball, because the Players Association certainly is not. I mean, just based off of that one quote, he had a bunch of others in this article that we read. The Players Association is not going to cave in any slight way. It's going to be the league doing it, and they're not going to be happy about it. But if they want baseball, going to have to suck it up.
Yeah. All right. I think we're through that. Let's just get into some of the moments that happened this week.
That might have been the best transition we've had in this entire podcast history. I think we're through that.
Yeah, well, I don't like all the corny, forced transitions personally.
Hey, mine was good.
Yours was
Kobe's
good.
was good.
Wait, can we actually go
We
back?
just did it anywho.
Can I go? I want to say what my transition plan was for that. I knew Kobe was like going to go into the Mets. Is that what you're talking about? Like going from our banter to the Mets earlier? I was hoping you would go, Zev, talking about the Red Sox and going, all right, from one garbage organization to another, the Mets fired Carlos Mendoza this week. That's where my head was at. I was hoping to get it out, but it just didn't really work out. We ended up talking Yankees, but I just wanted to make sure that was
My
heard.
garbage organization is in the midst of sweeping your Yankees.
And so I can jinx them.
So
Sonny
who's
Gray has a
garbage
no-hitter
now?
through 6.
No. Cody,
Crap.
you're not supposed to say that.
Shoot, I forgot.
I love it.
You're
I
not
love it.
supposed to
Zev, there's
say
wood behind
that.
you. There's wood behind you. Wooden bats.
I've been knocking on wood this entire time. Strike 3. Sit down, Jason Dominguez. Actually, I think this is
Hold
a
on.
ball.
Hold on. Do you have to
Anywho,
knock on
let's-
wood if there's no jinx? I think that's like kind of weird.
Well, I almost brought it up. Earlier, so I knocked on wood then.
His no-hitter?
It doesn't matter when you say it, bro. You mean
Okay,
nothing.
yeah.
You mean nothing to the
Right.
baseball world.
Right,
You don't
right.
exist in Sonny Gray's mind. I do.
Earlier in the week, Jazz got onto the field with a lollipop in his mouth to play second base. Not the first time he has played baseball with a lollipop this season. Took an at-bat in Boston. John Boy let Aaron Boone know about that. Boone was not
He's a
happy. Whoa. Let me get through this, and then you can say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Boone
He's
was
just a
pissed. Said on Talking Yanks podcast, that pisses me off. He and I, we talked about that. It's not going to be going on anymore. And then the next game, Jazz hits a homer, gets back into the dugout, picks up his box of lollipops. He's flexing it to the camera. His teammates are all excited. He's got the lollipop again going in the clubhouse after. And then Boone is loving it in the clubhouse. And he's since said that he's embraced the lollipop kid. And this series that Zev will never stop talking about, going on in Fenway right now, Jazz is continuing to suck on his lollipops in the dugout. He hasn't made it back onto the field yet. I think that's going to probably be the end of that, just as a safety hazard type of thing.
Yeah, suck on your lollipop, you loser.
He's
He
so
might be my
awesome.
least favorite player on the team.
I love him.
Actually,
He's
I
sick.
really dislike him.
He's super cool.
He is cool. He's a cool guy, but I feel like when I play the Yankees, I want them to be classic Yankees. I want them to be the bad boys of baseball, and he is not. And he does it in such like a foolish way. Everything he has aura. Okay, bro.
I would say he
Whatever.
fits into the bad boy. He doesn't wear a cup. I mean, it doesn't get more
Yeah, that's
bad boy
pathetic.
than that.
Yeah. He's so
super
awesome.
cool.
I think you just can't handle it.
He will not win a championship in New York. Stamp it. Speaking of championships,
fine.
Oklahoma baseball
nothing against him.
won the College World Series for the 3rd time in program history. They beat UNC 13-2 in the final game, and college baseball is so fun just for a multitude of reasons. But the biggest reason I think is fun is because everybody's got a chance. Oklahoma had a losing record in the SEC, was not ranked, sneak into the tournament, and go on to win it all. Pretty cool for them.
Yeah, I wish I had more thoughts on that. I really don't watch any college baseball whatsoever. Love MLB. I get paid to watch minor league baseball, but still, I have not seen the appeal. And I think that's kind of college sports for me in general, so I'm a bit of an outcast in that situation. But, yeah, I was not in tune with that. But, with that, Sandy Alcantara, he became the all-time strikeout leader, moving back on to baseball. Great transition. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
1,002. I didn't think he had pitched that long. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of surprised by this. Not necessarily him doing it for the Marlins. They're still a relatively new franchise. The broadcast reaction was great though. Fans in the scoreboard didn't care. Dugout tried to hype him up, but the crowd didn't really know why. Eventually, Sandy tipped his cap to the crowd, and just the crowd gave an applause for that. See, and that's kind of going back to my point. Yes, the Phillies are a bit of a more packed crowd that they bring in and night out. But this situation compared to Gene Segura's 200 double, I put this above it. You're the franchise leader. So that's kind of again where my whole point stems from why the Gene Segura moment was so funny. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was pretty silly. He passed Ricky Nolasco, who was the leader before that. Ricky Nolasco, a Dodger legend, was there in 2013.
Zev, can you tell us about Ricky Nolasco?
Please.
Nope. I actually can't. I don't got knowledge on who that is, which is crazy because I looked at his page and pitched 2017. Like, it's pretty recent. And my baseball knowledge goes deep.
It's a name you gotta know.
Don't know him. This
The
was a total
commentators-
misstep from the Marlins organization. Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing? How do they mess this up? Like, when I think of Marlins, I think of Giancarlo Stanton and Sandy, and they totally fudged this up.
The
You don't think about
commentators
Trevor
were
Rogers?
pissed.
He cool.
I think about Trevor Rogers, current Salamanca slugger. I know where he came from. The commentators for this game, though, they were all over it. Like, throughout the game, they were going, oh, he's 2 away. Oh, he's 1 away. All right, 2 strikes. Here we go. He gets it. And they're just, like, so eager to see the crowd stand up, and they were just waiting. And Sandy's looking around like he knew it. The catcher kind of hesitated to throw the ball around. It was very awkward and sad. It was sad.
It was sad.
You would think that, from one thing I've noticed being, like, working in a major league control room where that is our job to, like, put up those accomplishments, we're in cahoots with the broadcasters. So if there's something that's coming up, they also have papers that come up pregame in the press box, game notes. I'm sure that was on there. A few people just decided not to read that, or I don't know what happened. But yeah, that's a very embarrassing error for the people up there in their control room.
Yeah.
Going back to that Mets-Cubs series we touched on earlier, this was a really crazy play. Ball 4 to Michael Busch. PCA is stealing on the pitch. He doesn't realize it's ball 4 or whatever, so he slides into second base. Catcher throws down because it's all like kind of one fluent motion. He doesn't know what the ump is going to call on the pitch. PCA slides into second, and like for a split second, his foot kind of loses contact with the bag. And they apply the tag, because again, this is all just one fast motion going through the motions of baseball. And he's out. Even though it's ball 4, he automatically advances. But because he slid, because he didn't know what the call was on the pitch, he ends up touching the base and coming off. Tag is applied just kind of naturally, not even really thinking about it. And he's out. And as the umps kind of give their explanation of this, PCA and Marcus Semien on obviously opposite teams, they're kind of cracking up about it because it's just such a weird play. Craig Counsell's crashing out over it. It's the correct call, but it just seems like so weird that PCA is getting punished for stealing on a ball 4 and sliding because it's the safe thing to do. I think there needs to be some sort of rework here.
I actually think it was the wrong call. I was doing some more deep dive into this, and in order for you to be like off the bag on that situation, you need to go past the midway point, which he certainly did not. Like, he was before the midway point of the base when they tagged him, and I think they just messed it up. I mean, I get why they made that call, but I think that if they had called the league office and gotten a rule check on it, may have gone the other way. There were like 5 different rules that applied to this situation.
I'm watching it now. Say what you said again about the midway point. How does that work?
So in order, like, it's like 5 different rules that go into this. So from what I understand, you have to go past the midway point of the bag in order to be like considered rounding the base and for the play to be extended. Because like on a walk, if you're the runner on first, you have a free pass to second. You can't be tagged out in the middle of the base path, obviously. So if he got there and hadn't gone past the bag, he's still technically on his way from first to second. Where if he had gone past the midway point, he's on his way then from second to third and could have been tagged out.
So when you say gets crossed, like his arm is past it, but the rest of his body isn't.
It's like,
so it's
yeah. I think it's his feet is the most important part. So baseball is bigger than just the game. Earlier this week, there was a 7.1 magnitude earthquake in Venezuela, which absolutely devastated the country. This video was taken during a Venezuelan baseball game. Throughout the week, a couple of players, including Wilson Contreras and Wilyer Abreu, wrote on their hats they got permission from the league to pay tribute to their country. David Ortiz yesterday was at the Red Sox-Yankees game raising money for support. Just what a situation they got over there. Really unfortunate, really brutal for the people there, and my heart goes out to them for sure.
Yeah, no, very sad situation. We at Sutter Health Park did a moment of silence for it. I actually was unaware about it happening. I knew there was an earthquake actually in Northern California, not nearly as bad. I got an alert about it. But we paid homage to it as well, and yeah, no, very, very unfortunate. Moving on, though, Abner Uribe finally served his 1-game suspension. I don't know what took him so long to finally serve that suspension. He had pitched him for the previous 5 games, so wasn't going to be able to go anyways. I don't really know how that works. I think that's really odd, to say the least, that he gets to kind of pick whenever it works best for him, whenever it best fits his schedule, but he finally served it, so he's all good.
It's like a scam.
Yeah.
It's not even a real
It is a scam.
suspension.
And while you were talking, this moment just happened in this game. Sonny Gray just reached 2,000 strikeouts in his career, one of now 92 players to do that, and there was no mention of it, no tribute. Also just happened, screw you, Kobe, first hit of the game. Ahmed
Go
Rosario
Yanks.
up the middle.
Go Yanks.
So Yanks got something going here. What a performance, though, from Gray. 2,000 Ks on the night. Not 2,000 Ks tonight. For his
On the
career, he reached
night.
that number.
What a day for
Can you
him.
imagine?
I wouldn't care about the no-hitter.
Oh, gosh, incredible. But yeah, one of 90. He's the 92nd player all time to do that. And Segura's what, like 850 players to have 200 doubles, and they don't even
847.
They put nothing up on the jumbotron. I feel like this
Yeah.
is more worthy.
I would say so. Really, just a lot of interesting things going on this week, and this might be the top of the list. We have a Shohei Ohtani, Dalton Rushing feud. 2 of the biggest guys in the sport right now for totally opposite reasons. In the first inning, they seemed to get kind of crossed up on an inside pitch. Rushing wasn't able to catch it. Don't really know what happened there. And then in the second inning, with runners on base, it happens again, kind of in the exact same way, and this resulted in a wild pitch and a run. As the play's kind of wrapping up, Rushing's looking towards Ohtani, looking towards his dugout, like, what the hell was that? Ohtani's looking around, like, what the hell was that? They meet at the mound. Mark Pryor comes out. They kind of talk it through. They move on. And then later in the inning, there's a pitch that's kind of low, bottom of the strike zone, called a ball. Shohei goes, challenge, and pitchers have permission to challenge, so it ultimately, they're going to ABS. And as that's happening, Rushing is going, no, like very visibly frustrated, and Shohei's the GOAT, so of course he's correct. And Ohtani's got this look in his face of, yeah, like, why are you doubting me? I'm Shohei Ohtani, you're Dalton Rushing. And Rushing goes back to the dugout after the inning, and he is just throwing a temper tantrum, just banging his head, all down in the dumps, head in his hands. You've got Dave Roberts coming over to him to comfort him, Freddie Freeman, veteran, coming over to comfort him, give him some nice words, all other types of coaches coming over, just trying to calm him down. Just a ongoing chain of events for Dalton Rushing this year.
Yeah, really interesting. After that game, he said, quote, "It's embarrassing that I need support like that. Quote, I'm a grown man. It's a pretty tough pill to swallow, both sides of the ball. Not a great showing. It hasn't been great as of late. I'm going to get better." I just thought that I'm a grown man comment was a little silly.
He's a child.
It's true, but
he's
it's
not,
just
he's
a
no
little silly.
grown man. He's not even a grown man. He is a child.
Since then, he's homered, and him and Shohei celebrated together. Shohei gave him a huge pat on the back, a lot of smiles. So maybe we've moved on.
He's growing up
Earlier in
before
the
our eyes.
series, the benches cleared in Fenway. Wilson Contreras just always in the middle of things. He was John with Will Warren, flipped his bat after a walk. Warren didn't like it, even though he does that literally every single time. It may have been the most mild benches clearing brawl of all time, but the benches did clear. Rivalry is alive and well.
Always. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of benches clearing this year. I want to see some more punches thrown. I wish baseball was more like hockey. I know guys are just going to kind of go down, but let them fight. Who cares? Make it a little more interesting. Moving on, though, Jacob Mizorowski threw a pitch 105.5 miles an hour versus PCA. I think they had a pregame interview. I don't know if it was right before the game or when it was pregame. I know that much. And PCA was just saying he was expecting fastball, and he got 3 in a row. The last one being 105.5 miles an hour. and struck him out on 3 pitches. He just keeps one-upping himself. That was the 3rd fastest pitch of all time, and he has 239 of the 240 fastest pitchers by starter this season. So he's just been fantastic and continues to roll. I think that there's going to be a bit of a timeline on that. I think that it's going to be hard to sustain for a career, much less a season. We'll see.
Who was the other? Where'd the other pitch come from? 239 of the 240 fastest pitches this season. There's one other. There's one other in there. Surely one of you guys know.
Question. Zev?
Shohei.
It's right there.
Shohei.
That's right.
Of course.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, Shohei.
Just had to make sure that got in there.
No,
Nope.
yeah. No, I'm sorry for skipping over it.
Dodgers Padres. It's just another rule thing that kind of threw me off. Bases loaded, 1 out. Muncy pops it up in between pitcher, third base, catcher territory. Machado's under it. Ump calls infield fly. So Machado lets it drop because there's no real incentive to catch it in majority of situations. You let it drop and maybe the runners get confused and start running and you can double one of them up. But as he let it drop, the ball starts to roll foul. And so it gets like over to the line. Ultimately, it's ruled a fair ball. It doesn't go foul. But had it been a foul ball, the infield fly rule gets overturned. It doesn't apply anymore, and it's just a foul ball. So in all these situations where like you're trying to bait runners to maybe go and get them confused, I didn't know this part of the rule that once an infield fly rule is called, it can actually get overturned if the ball goes foul. Kind of weird play you don't see all the time.
Yeah, they yell specifically infield fly if fair. So if it's a foul ball,
Every
it's a foul
time?
ball. Uh-huh. Every single time.
Huh.
Yep. Speaking of dekes, Dansby Swanson had this beautiful deke to get Jackson Churio at third base. I love heads-up plays like this. Machado's, I have no issue with. Had it gone foul, it would have been like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? But it didn't. No harm, no foul. I like where his head was at. Dansby, just so good.
Yeah, beautiful play.
Daniel Lynch tried to kill Nick Lofton. We'll leave it at that.
My
No.
gosh.
So, Braden Montgomery laid down a bunt while Daniel Lynch was pitching. He runs over towards the third base line to throw out the runner who was Colson Montgomery, who was going to third. And just terrible throw. Hits Nick Lofton right in the nuts. Have a little bit of a stoppage there, off the D, if you will. And this slowed down the game a little bit. But it was just something a little silly. Tried to go a little too fast for his own head. But another thing I wanted to touch on, which this is kind of a quick hitter, but also part of a bigger topic, is the Nationals. Man, this has not been a favorable week for them. More specifically, a favorable weekend. The Phillies took 3 out of 4 from the Nats, winning all 3 games in the 9th inning. The first team in MLB history to hit a go-ahead homer in the 9th of 3 consecutive games. The Nationals bullpen, hear this, allowed 15 runs in the 9th inning in these 3 games.
Oh,
That's
wow.
insane. That is absurd. And, that's nothing against their offense. Their offense has been fantastic this year. Got to give a big shout out. I picked up Mr. Luis Garcia in my fantasy matchup versus Zev Black, and he hit 6 home runs. He got on base about 50% of the time. It was a fantastic week for the kid. Zev is obviously still having a tough time dealing with that, but it's been fantastic to be a part of. But that's not the issue with the Nationals. It's the bullpen, and that has just become very, very clear. They really didn't have many guys going into the season. I know Clayton Beater was supposed to be their closer. They just bring nothing to the table. They, at least in the bullpen, sorry. That's embarrassing. 15 runs in 3 games just in the 9th inning. It's just, yeah, terrible. What do you guys think?
I hope they acquire some bullpen talent at the deadline because, like you said, that offense has been pretty effective all season long. They're just great. Was watching them today against my guy Kyle Bradish, and it was just tough out after tough out. Bradish has been great his last 2 starts, and those Nats hitters really just make each at bat effective. So Aroldis, Fairbanks, someone make your way over to DC. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just the closer. It's the entire bullpen. The Nationals bullpen has allowed 61 home runs this season. Could have had a 4-game sweep. blew it, obviously. They've blown 24 saves this year. They're 42-42. They would be 54-30 had they converted just half of those saves. Like, you can't... No team is going to convert every single save throughout the season. But half of the saves, and you're one of the best teams in baseball, man.
Wait, how many have they blown? What was
24 blown saves this year.
I did not
Yeah.
realize it was that bad. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that bad.
54 and
That
30
bad.
could be if you just got half.
They'd have the best record in baseball. Literally the number one record in baseball.
Oh, that hurts. Wow. That is crazy. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's news to me. I know we had this in our rundown, but I didn't realize it went that deep. Wow.
Really bad. Really bad.
We got the news this week of the two leading vote getters in the NL and the AL, or the leading one in each league. Shohei, obviously, in the NL, no surprise there. In the American League, Ernie Clement leads the way in All-Star votes, which makes him the team's starting second baseman. The two highest vote getters at this point get automatic bids. And, yeah, those Toronto fans really showed out.
I swear I saw
always
some
do.
notification saying, like, no surprise, Shohei and Ernie Clement at the top of the leaderboard. Like, no surprise. One of them, no, but, like, come on. Like, what are we? I think it was, like, an MLB
Surprise.
notification. Yeah, like, who's surprised by this? Everyone, except for people in Toronto. Like, just...
I mean, but maybe that's why it isn't a surprise. Because, like, of course Toronto's going to be, leading the way in votes. Or, of course,
But, like,
Canada,
of all
excuse me.
God, like, there's so many guys they could choose to vote for, too, on that team. Not to say Ernie Clement's... I don't know,
do.
maybe he is their best
They
player,
do vote
but, like...
for him.
There are some other names on there too. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Vladdy was up there. Like, obviously he hasn't been that good, but like
is.
you would think he's the more favorable player to be number one than Ernie Clement. I don't know.
He is number one. He is. Alejandro Kirk is second at catcher.
But
Vladdy
No, I mean, number
is
one-
first
saying
at
number
first
one
base.
overall.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah,
I think part of that is the biggest reason is just that who else are you voting for at second base? Like, at least for first base, you have Ben Rice and Murakami and Kurtz and
Sure,
Alonso and
sure.
Contreras. Like, there
Yeah,
are
that's a
there are
good
other
point.
options for other people, but it's like
Right.
Ezekiel Duran, Jose Altuve. Yeah, there's
Jazz.
Kirk is second.
Jazz could get votes.
Sure. Yeah, he came in fourth. Nobody likes that guy. Kirk is second. Vlad is first. Clement finished first. Okamoto is in first. Jimenez is in second for shortstop. Springer is second for DH. And Dalton Varsho and Jesus Sanchez are fifth and sixth for the outfield.
Jesus
So there's Blue Jay
Sanchez.
representation all the way around. Same every year.
Yep. That country, man, they vote strong. They do have internet out there.
Yeah. They ought to change the rules. I like how the NBA does it, where it's like 50%. I don't know the exact breakdown, but 50% fan vote, 30% goes to players, and 20 goes to coaches or whatever it is. I feel like the MLB should do that.
Yeah, I mean, since it's played for the most part in the USA, I think Toronto should just not, or yeah, I'm sorry, Canada should just not be allowed to vote. Do a quick location check, and if you're in Canada,
Huh.
sorry, you have to move if you want to vote.
Interesting. Just cut off an entire
right.
country.
Yeah, sorry. Let's move on to our game. We have a pretty exciting game. I'll kind of explain it. So, what we have here is I have 10 names of pitchers. Each of you need to pick 5. You guys are going to have a budget of $20. And, well, you need to decide how to use it wisely. So, I'm going to go each name one by one, and you guys decide who you want to spend your budget on more to build your 5-man rotation. Seems simple
Wait,
enough?
$20 you said?
Yeah, what?
$20.
Okay.
$20,
That's what I
5
needed to know.
guys.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
I'm ready.
All right, and anyone can decide if they want to start the building. It really doesn't have it can go either direction.
Should we switch off?
Switch
I'll
off,
do
but from
I'll start off
the
and-
beginning, sure. If you want to start off, yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
start off and you can go second.
First name on this list, Kyle Harrison.
KH. I'll start it at 1. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I would take him for 2.
I'll take him for 3.
I should have just gone to 3 because that was kind of my number, and I don't really want to give him to Zev for 3. He's had a great season, but I don't think I could. Well, you have $4 to spend on each player, Harrison. Nah, you got him.
I get Kyle
$3.
Harrison for $3.
All you.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right.
I'm
If
thrilled
you
with
guys
that.
can keep track of your guys' monetary values, I'd rather not have to do the math. If you guys do yourself,
Yeah.
that'd be perfect. Moving on to our next guy, Tariq Skubal. Big hitter early.
Wow.
Okay. So are we going like this season?
Sure.
Yeah,
he's
but
been
like
this year?
healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Right.
season and healthy.
Okay.
I'll start it at $3. He's obviously going to go for more than 3.
I'm cool with 4. Yeah.
I would go 5,
I'll go 6.
7.
I get school for 6.
I said 7. I said
Oh,
7.
you said 7. All right. I'll go Scooble for 8.
I'll let you have him. I'm going to save my funds.
Sweet.
Interesting decision. All right. The next guy we have
The
on
best
this
pitcher in
list
baseball.
is
Not the best.
Michael King.
All right, I'll go 1.
I'll go 2.
You can have him.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Michael King for
You
$2.
can have him for 2.
Next guy we have on this list, Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, I don't. 50 cents.
I mean, yeah, you got to go $1. Are
Can
you
we
allowed
skip?
to go cents? Yeah, if you don't want to bid on him, you
Well,
Skip.
no,
bid on
if
him.
you bail out, then he gets him for $1. You already put down 50 cents.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so I get him for 50 cents then.
But that doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything. That just means you have a free player.
Nah, you have a 50-cent advantage on me.
All right, you can have him for 50 cents.
Thanks.
Bingo. 50 cents. Andrew Abbott goes.
Intervals of
I mean,
50
he's-
cents. We're not going less than that.
The next guy
I'll
we have
go-
on this list
I'll go $8.01.
is Logan Webb.
Webby. I'll take him for $1.
3.
3. I'll take him for 4.
I'd go 5.
You can have him for 5.
Logan Webb goes to
So
team.
you have Andrew Abbott and Logan Webb.
And King
Oh, and the King.
was still more than half my budget for 2 spots.
This
I'm happy
one
with where I'm at.
may not be too popular. We got Kumar Rocker. Who wants Kumar?
I'm good. I'm good. I
All right,
can't
we'll
even
pass
get
him off
50
at the
cents.
end. Someone's gonna have to get him.
He's actually been solid.
I would
There
have
you
rather
go.
spent my 50 cents on Rocker than Abbott, but now I only have 2 spots. I have $13 to work with. I can't fill up a spot.
good.
Next,
I'll pass.
we have Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher. If you're not including that you're getting him as a hitter, but just the
I will
pitcher.
take him for $3.
5,
6.
7. You kind of can't
I
go.
can't really afford to do it. Yeah. So I've am I able to? Can I go? Okay, I'll go 7. I'll go 750.
I'll take 8.
Alright, you can have him for 8.
Bingo.
750. How much
The
you got
next-
left? So
I've
that's
got 450 for one
2,
player.
7. Alright, sweet.
The next guy we have is the Wah, Michael Wacha.
You can have him for 450, man. That's all you.
I'm good.
I'm good.
You
I
gotta
like
fill.
to
You
know.
have 3 players. Take him for $1. He's better than Abbott and Kumar Rocker.
Okay, I'll take him for $1.
All right, and $1. Zev gets Michael Wacha.
I'm actually like thrilled about that. That's a good $1 player.
Yeah, there you go. Helps build out the rotation.
It's a great.
The next guy we have is Patrick Corbin.
Ooh, Sam's favorite player.
He hasn't been terrible over the last year and a half. He got off the Nationals.
He like
Hasn't been good either.
Leads the league in pickoffs. That's like his claim to fame.
He's
I'll
got an
take him for
ERA
a
like
buck.
under 450. Yeah.
You got him for a buck.
Patrick Corbin goes to Zev.
Corbott.
And the last player on this list, pending wherever Kumar Rocker's going to end up going, is Parker Messick.
Sweet. I'll take him. That's my guy. How much you got? You got 450. I'll go 5.
Yeah. Damn. So he gets Messick, I get Rocker. That's how that works, huh?
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, that's great. Oh, I love my rotation. Mog's yours. K.
I'm not so sure about
Scoob,
that.
the Wall, Corbin, and the Sick. Come on.
I think it's a pretty balanced rotations.
Messick's legit. Messick would be your second best pitcher. And
It's pretty balanced.
I guess he's my second best pitcher.
He would
too.
be my second best. He's like
Alright,
he's
well,
your
let us-
second best.
Let us know who you think won. I guess we can put a little vote on the
This
screen
is
here.
super balanced. I think
Yeah, this is pretty
see what they say.
balanced. We'll see what
good
they
stuff,
say.
Kobe.
Yeah, I liked it. I think we had a good balance of players. I was really curious to see if Kumar. I'm surprised. My initial prediction was that Patrick Corbin was going to be the one who didn't get a bid, and Kumar did. So that's surprising to see. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I guess
fun.
I would
That was
rather
fun.
have. I guess I would rather have Kumar than Corbin. But Corbin does lead the league in pickoffs. And shout out Sam Dayton. That's his favorite pitcher ever.
Shout out.
If you want to know more about Sam Dayton, check out the last episode. Had him on a guest. Was on here for
Yeah.
about 30 minutes. Great guy. Great story. Very entertaining stuff. All right, this is a team that I really want to talk about. We mentioned a little bit, maybe. We said Braden Montgomery later.
We mentioned them early in the pod.
Yeah. The Chicago White Sox have been so good this season. They've already passed last season's win total, which was 41. And they've just been a really entertaining team, hitting well, pitching's been good enough. And I love what they're doing. They played the Guardians earlier in the week. 7 of their 13 games in this stretch are against the Guardians. It's obviously going to have huge implications on the overall division standings. In that series, Cade Smith blew a save and had a loss in extra innings in that series. Tough series for him. They have this whole magical thing going on where Mike Vassell in the dugout is acting as a wizard, and he predicted a home run.
Here comes a homer.
For Miguel Vargas, that was fun. They have a good energy. They have that feel of they could maybe make a run in October. They got this magic going about them. What are your guys' thoughts on the White Sox?
They're fun. They're a really fun team. At the beginning of the season, or 4 weeks in, whenever we decided to pick teams that we thought weren't going to be too good, I did have them on my hit list, and I think partly that was because of the track record that they've had. But they've surprised me, and it's been cool to watch. And I think you're right. It's it's kind of how I relayed them to the Cardinals a bit, who have definitely slowed down, and we're in a bit of a different spot because when I was talking about them as being just more of a surprising team, just finds a way to win, kind of just finds different ways to pull out of games, whether it's from the hitting side of things or the pitching dominating. The Cardinals were 3 games over 500 at the time. The White Sox are legit. They're playing really well. They're making me eat my words, and they're fun to watch. So it's surprising. I haven't been able to say that in a very long time, that the White Sox are a team that if they're on, I'll watch it. I think before it was whatever, useless game no matter who they're playing. But now they're a legit team, and I think it's cool to see. Again, I talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. How quickly they've been able to just turn the gears. It's just something that I haven't really seen in a long time. Usually teams that suck for a while.
I gotta
Yeah,
hop
Kobe,
in
you
here
brought
really
up
quick.
how important.
I gotta hop in here. Misspoke. It was 2024 that they had 41 wins. 2024. 2025 last year, they had 60. So just the jump that they're making is incredible.
Yeah.
Regardless.
White Sox stock is going up for sure. Kobe, last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess. When did you bring up the clutch list? Was that last week? No, it had to be 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Your biggest thing to win a World Series was that the team had to be clutch. Not just one player, the team as a whole. They've had
Different guy every night.
7 walk-offs from 7 different players this season. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Everybody in the lineup can do damage. There's not one guy who does a ton of damage more than others. Even like Murakami, he was the guy, but Colson's matched him in home runs at this point. Up and down the lineup, they got players who like to do their thing. And I don't know if they're going to make a deep run. Their bullpen is pretty bad. But if they can get some bullpen help and maybe shore up the rotation a little bit, even though it's been solid enough, yeah, they have a shot. Why not?
I haven't seen them as buyers in I don't know how long. They have always been sellers in my tenure of like being into baseball. They're always a team where it's like, all right, who's their best player because he's probably on the chopping block. So it's going to be different to see them as buyers coming into this trade deadline, but they surely will be.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What are we doing?
What
the
happened?
Red Sox,
Oh.
first and second, it's the 9th inning. Top of the 9th, they're up 2-0. First and second, nobody out. Fly ball to right. Tagging from second to third like normal. And Willie Abreu uncorks a throw that wasn't even close to the bag. Like, it's like in between third and home, allows the runner tagging from second to score. And then Volpe, who is on first and wasn't even tagging, gets from first to third. So now 1 out, runner on third. If you just throw to second base, man. Just throw to second base. Keep the runner at first. Sure, the guy gets to third, but you're on third and you're still up by 2. This is the same stuff all season long for the Red Sox.
I want to be 10
Yeah!
games under 500 so bad. I want to be 10 games under.
I do want to be
so
10 games under
bad.
500 because like we said, 500 can make the playoffs. If they can, I'm telling you, man,
10 games
if they
under?
can get anywhere near, no, but like 3 under could. If they can get near the playoffs in the next month, I don't think they'll be sellers like everyone thinks they could be right now. I mean, certainly with where they're at, they're going to be sellers. But it's stuff like this that is just infuriating to me. And it's not even an RBI for Ben Rice. It doesn't even tie our category, Kobe.
Did Jazz get
dude,
ejected?
Did he get ejected? Did he?
I'm seeing
Did he
that
get
on
ejected
Twitter.
in this one? I
Seeing
mean,
it on Twitter.
they cut away. He did check swing, and the home plate umpire just said he swung, and he was pissed. And I saw Boone came out. I didn't see Jazz get ejected, but maybe he did. Obviously, I don't have volume on the game.
Well, at least
And it
in
was
our
clearly a
perspective,
swing.
reeling this all back in, at least one Sox team is doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap up this podcast. This has been a great time. A little bit, actually, not too much of a shorter episode. Shorter than our last episode. Thank you for all of you troopers who survived through that one. Our socials are going to be down below. If you guys haven't heard, which none of you guys have heard, our home run draft is no longer on here anymore. It is now only going to be on our socials. So go ahead and follow that if you're not already following it to go see who we picked for this coming week. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.
Adios.